Welcome to one and all. My name is K.BABU Ganesh.
Bhutan is officially known as the Kingdom of Bhutan, and it is a landlocked country in the eastern Himalayas in South Asia. It is bordered by the Tibet Autonomous Region of China in the north and the Chambi Valley of Tibet and is barely separated from Nepal, from the Indian state of Sikkim in the west and the Indian state of Assam, West Bengal and Arunachal Pradesh in the east, south and southwest. Bhutan is geopolitically in South Asia and is the region's second least populous nation after the Maldives. Thimphu is its capital and the largest city, while Phulang is its financial center. In South Asia, Bhutan ranks first in economic freedom and ease of doing business and peace and is the least corrupt country in the region as of 2016. It continues to be a least developed country but expects to graduate from its status by 2023. Hydroelectricity accounts for most of its exports. The government is a parliamentary democracy. The head of the state is the King of Bhutan, known as the Dragon King. Bhutan maintains diplomatic relations with 52 countries and the European Union, but does not have formal ties with the five permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. It is a member of the United Nations, SAARC, BIMSTEC, and the Non-Allied Movement. The Royal Bhutan Army maintains a close relationship with the Indian Armed Forces. Bhutan is also notable for pioneering the concept of gross national happiness. The policy has been criticized as a disguise for regressive and racist policy by some foreign critics, and this has not resulted in significant improvement in the living standards of ordinary citizens. The Sabal Pine Himalayan mountains in the north rise from the country's lush subtropical plains in the south. In the Bhutanese Himalayas, there are peaks higher than 7,000 meters above sea level. Gangkhar Pensum is Bhutan's highest peak and also may be the highest unclimbed mountain in the world. The wildlife of Bhutan is notable for its biodiversity. Bhutan's de facto independence has endured for centuries, and although it has historically been part of India's sphere of influence as its protected state, it has never been colonized in its history. Situated on the ancient Silk Route between Tibet, the Indian subcontinent, and Southeast Asia, the Bhutanese state developed a distinct national identity based on Buddhism. And the Bhutanese state developed a distinct national Rinpoche identity based, and it is headed by a spiritual leader known as a Zhabdrung Rinpoche. The territory comprised many fiefdoms and was governed as a Buddhist theocracy. Following a civil war in the 19th century, the House of Wangchuck reunited the country and established relationship with the British Empire. After the end of the British Raj, Bhutan fostered a strategic partnership with India during the rise of Chinese communism. It currently has a disputed border with China. In the early 1990s, the government forcefully deported members of human rights organizations such as Human Rights Watch describe it as an ethnic cleansing. Much of the country's Nepali-speaking Lord Shampa minority in southern Bhutan. He sparked a refugee crisis in nearby Japa, Nepal. In 2008, Bhutan transitioned from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy and held the first election to the National Assembly of Bhutan. The National Assembly is a part of the bicameral parliament of the Bhutanese democracy. India and Bhutan have been sharing ties since 1910. When Bhutan became a protectorate of British India, allowing the British to guide its foreign affairs and defense. When India declared independence in 1947, Bhutan was among the first nations to recognize it. Since then, the relationship between the countries has been stronger, especially when Bhutan also has a historical tense with relationship with China. Besides sharing a 699 kilometers border, India and Bhutan also share deep region cultural links. Guru Padmasambhava, a Buddhist saint, played an influential role in spreading Buddhism and cementing traditional ties between people in both nations. India opened an office of a special representatives in Thimphu in 1968. Bhutan reciprocated in 1971. The two offices of same representatives were upgraded to full-fledged embassies in 1978. The basis for bilateral relationship between India and Bhutan was formed by the Indo-Bhutan Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1949. However, Article 2 of the treaty critically gave India a role in guiding Bhutan's foreign policy. Hence, some changes in the treaty were involved in 2007. A new treaty says that Bhutan can import arms as long as Indian interests are not harmed and there is no re-export of the weapons either by the government or individuals. Article 6 and 7 in the current treaty compass the issue of national treatment and equal presence for citizens on each other's soil. The most important India-Bhutan relationship is hydropower projects. In Bhutan are an example of win-win cooperations. It provides a reliable source of inexpensive and clean electricity to India and generating export revenue for Bhutan, thus cementing our economic integration. And in educational cooperation, India-Bhutan phrase gives that in undergraduate scholarship for study in prestigious Indian institutions and Nehru Wangship Scholarship and Ambassador Scholarship and Ananda Scholarship and ICCR Scholarship and SARC Scholarship. Indian Bhutan key sectors of cooperation, that is in security, trade, hydropower, border management, transit, economic and water resources and development cooperations. These are the area where the key sectors of cooperation is more there. India Bhutan, a significant partner to India's neighborhood first policy. And this is the Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation signed in 1948 and revised in February 2007. And it celebrated 50 years of establishment of diplomatic relations in 2018. PM of Bhutan attended the swearing ceremony of Prime Minister Modi on 13th May 2017. It celebrated the 50th years of diplomatic relations. Traveling to Bhutan, and that is the first is they expect a minimum daily price set by the government and fly into Paro on Truck Air or Bhutan Airlines, and you should obtain a visa in advance and bring and pay with cash and carry USD to local currency in Gultram. And this is the main important 5 things to traveling to Bhutan. The two important negotiations of India Bhutan are hydroelectricity and space stations. These and Bhutan or Indian are celebrating enduring friendship for 50 years. There are lots of books in market like Indian Bhuta by Manorama Kohli, and these depicts the Indian Bhutan relationship. And also there are lots of books available like India and Bhuta relationship in modern times like Salyan Debrinath and Lonely Planet Bhutan. India Bhutan trade ties. India is Bhutan's largest trading partner. Then the trade between the two countries is governed by the Indian Bhutan Trade and Transit Agreement 1972. The agreement established a free trade regime between the two countries. That the free trade says that this much does not have tax. That is a free trade. Trading point. India to Bhutan is sending heavy machinery, medical equipment, sponge, iron, cements, vehicle, agriculture goods and petroleum products, etc. And Bhutan's to India is ferroselenic, calcium carbide, TMT bar, marble slab and copper. The distance of the check post from Calcutta is 750 km and distance of the check post from Thimphu is 180 km. And this is the trade between the India and Bhutan. And you can see that this is a map of Bhutan, that it covers the borders with India and China. This is a land cover map of the Indo-Bhutan border areas. You can see there is a lot of forest like deep and scrub and grass forest in border areas. And this is a map of India and Bhutan. Here you can see how small is the Bhutan. Yeah. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to explain India and Bhutan relationship. It is done by K.BABU of second year defense, roll number 5361.